Monaco m'a toujours fasciné. Ses histoires, ses personnages, son évolution. C'est pour ça que j'ai décidé de venir dans la Principauté, pour aller à la rencontre de ceux qui façonnent cet endroit unique au monde. Qu'ils soient sous le feu des projecteurs ou qu'ils œuvrent dans l'ombre, tous participent à l'âme de Monaco. Des leaders, des créateurs, des sportifs, des artistes, chacun a une histoire à partager. Bienvenue dans un voyage au cœur de la Principauté.
Doctor, I'm very proud to welcome you on the Monaco Effect straight away. Can you explain to me how a young engineer from Turkey fell in love with satellites?
Oh, that's a good start. Thank you very much. But I mean, when I was young, even very small kids, I was always looking to the sky because in the old times the sky was clear from our parts that we could see all the stars and everybody. And then we watch with whole family when we were young.
Mm-hmm.
The Apollo, especially Apollo coming back to the Earth, and then later on the moon walks and the things. I said, "Oh, this is fascinating." And as a family, my father was electronics, so I said, "Okay, I will follow this road." I start with as an electronic engineer,
Mm-hmm.
and then, of course, several universities end up with satellite experts.
So as a kid, you knew that you wanted to do something linked to space?
No, I was always thinking electronics,
Okay.
something, but once I started university electronics engineering and then master and then telecommunication, uh, I started in Turkey just after the university. The university was a American university, so
Mhm.
our dream was to go to state, of course, all the time. Once it's finished, but then I saw at that time the telecommunication networks was not so good in Turkey.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I will stay. I will make master doctorate, but I will try to do something. So a few years after, the government sent me some trainings, especially in Japan, in AT&T, Bell Lab, MIT, so several things.
Mm-hmm.
And I end up, when I was, I think, 26 years old, the youngest director general of the responsible for satellites
Wow.
in Turkey.
That's insane. Why did you think you were chosen for this role?
I think I was thinking this is the future. When we see the difficulties on the Earth, especially on the communication, with the cables, with the undersea cables, the fibers, and the thing, then I said, why not the space? So
Mhm.
actually, I could say just one anecdote. The satellites, the space, communication started with a science fiction writer. It was not an engineer. I mean, so he made just a kind of imagination, and then he wrote a book, and he said that if he put a something, not satellite, he didn't call, 36,000 kilometers away of the Earth, and if this satellite, let's say, or something, move with the same velocity as the Earth, from the Earth you can see this at the same place all the time. But when it moves around, then the centrifugal force and the gravity will be equal at 36,000 kilometers away from equator. So if you put 3 satellites around, so it means that you can cover full Earth.
Mhm.
So this was the Clark orbit. Still we call this geostationary orbit. So then the engineers start to realize.
Okay, very interesting. And since then, you have participated in many launch campaigns around the world. Can you explain for someone that has no clue about launch campaigns what it feels like from an engineer's perspective? How do you organize that?
Then let me start from the beginning. First, when you have the idea of putting satellite, for example, first one, I launched 7 satellites, 5 for Turkey,
Okay.
1 is later, and the last one for Monaco,
Mhm.
Monaco Sat, as you know, maybe. At least 5 years it takes to design the project. Minimum 3 years manufacturing, In the old times, it took 2 months for the launch campaign. We were using the Ariane in
Okay.
French Guiana.
Mhm.
So 2 months, sorry, in the jungle. If you go to the French Guiana where the Ariane is launching in Kourou Space Center, it's a small place, but it's in the jungle. So 2 months with the flies, with the everything. But we work to prepare the satellite. We put on top of the rocket, and you can see the top of the rocket. And then I was at almost in all first five, in the control center,
Mhm.
where I had the button to stop the launch, not to start.
Okay.
Where up to 10 seconds of the launch, I had the right to stop if I feel that the satellite, the telemetries, the signals are not good. I could stop. But then it took 20 minutes, so almost all your life. You work maybe 5 years, 6 years, 8 years,
Mhm.
and then only 20 minutes. You have to see whether your satellite will be in the space or not.
Oh, and did it ever go wrong for a launch?
My first satellite.
Really?
My first satellite, I mean, with even 5 years of design, 3 years of manufacturing. It was manufactured in Cannes, and it was Aerospatiale, which is now Thales Alenia Space, where I was the director there also. We decided we manufacture a very perfect satellite, and at the same time another satellite for Europe, Eutelsat, and we put the two satellites on top of each other, and we all French. We were waiting success. My satellite went up. It is around 22 minutes after they released our satellite launch. 19 minutes, the third stage engine stop, and my satellite come back to the ocean.
Wow. And
So,
you lose.
I
It's
mean,
done.
then the only thing, we made big studies before, especially risk management.
Mhm.
It was the first satellite for Turkey. I didn't want to get the full, let's say, risks. So we started to manufacture two satellites. And it was, I think, in the world first time.
Mhm.
So the second satellite on ground was ready.
Okay.
So when the Ariane was ready, in 6 months' time, we launched it. And then after, it was all success.
Wow. Lucky that you thought about it and prepared. And how much does an average satellite cost? Because I have no clue. It's very difficult to estimate.
No, I
it
mean,
is?
this type of, I mean, for example, I can say our last MonacoSat satellite is around 350 million euro.
Okay.
So it is between, according to the capacity, the launch, which launcher, already now only the SpaceX remain.
Mhm.
But it's between 300 to 400 million euro. But we are talking about telecommunication satellites, around 4 tons, 5 tons,
Okay.
which will go to 36,000 kilometers. And the lifetime is around 15 to 20 years.
Okay. I thought it was longer.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. When you launch a satellite, since you've done it 7 times, you said,
7
right?
times.
Do you still feel pressure before the launch every time?
Yes. This is something you cannot forget. And it is, I don't know how, maybe Formula One drivers, I mean, when they are sit on the cockpit and then they feel something. So when we sit there on the launch sites and with all the computers in front of us, all the signals are coming, it is like our baby. We put in the launcher and waiting this baby to burn.
Mhm.
Okay, so we receive all the signals. Even my first satellite, when it was going to the ocean, I was getting all the signals. I mean, the satellite was alive.
This is crazy. I love it. And you are considered like a pioneer in helping countries build their first satellite. Is it hard to lead like such diverse people? Is it hard to lead a big group of people to make one satellite?
You are right. Actually, the satellite changed the vision, and especially the young generation vision when you have a satellite. For example, in Turkey, it changed immediately. There were only 2-3 TV channels, and today maybe more than 100, 600 channels. And then it immediately opened the imagination of the country. And then when I was in Thales, of course, we did several international projects for Eutelsat, SES, and Norway, and things. But then, especially after Soviet times in the Central Asia, there were so many pop-up countries, in Azerbaijan, Turkmenistan, and Kazakhstan. So when we look at them, they didn't have any means of communication. So first we started to give the service from our first satellites, and then later they understood that they need their own satellites. So that's why for a nation, especially maybe in Europe, European countries don't feel because they have all the communication means and the help of each other. But those countries are alone, isolated, and now it is same in Africa, where with our new projects we would like to go to Africa and African countries to serve the African countries.
All right. So yeah, that's a very noble mission. You changed the destiny of a country almost with your projects.
That's right. And then we felt, and you see it. I mean, for example, in Turkmenistan, it was very close country. When we launched our first Monaco Sat-1 satellite in 2015, with our orbital position, Monaco position, and with our satellite, let's say, they are using 2/3 of our capacity, but then the vision and the education in the remote areas, the children education is totally changed. This is, maybe everybody is talking about digital divide. So immediately we cut this digital divide.
Can you explain to me what is for you the biggest challenge when building a satellite for a government?
To explain them that they should understand it is good for their country. Okay, because especially the politicians are always looking for next year, very short terms, but the satellite project is a long term. I mean, 5 years, 6 years. So sometimes they even don't think such a long duration. They want to do immediately something. So I think this is, for a country, this is the biggest hurdle. But now more and more they understand.
How do you manage yourself to adapt to this culture, to explain to them differently every time how a satellite would help them?
First, they trust me in first instance because I'm scientist in the satellite and space business. I have some names and things, so at least it starts in a good way. But also with my multicultural language and the place and the education, it helps a lot. But mainly, even if you go as a team, with the engineering team, they immediately understand that this satellite space is their future.
Interesting. And can you explain to me how your story is Monaco began?
When we launched the Turksat satellites, I was also a director in Cannes in the Thales factories. We understood that there's a big need of satellites, especially in new developing countries. So France and Turkey decided to create a joint venture company. And they created this joint venture satellite operation company. It was called EurasiaSat in Monaco.
Okay.
And they asked me both sides, me to be the CEO. So that's why I think just 1990, I came to Monaco to create this company. We launched our first satellite 2001 of EurasiaSat.
Okay.
And it was mainly for the expand for the not military, but the government communications and the digital communication. And then, thanks to the Prince Albert, after later he asked me to stay in Monaco and to develop something in Monaco in space. And in 2004, I created my own company, Space Systems International. But then we understood that to have a telecom company, telecom satellite, you have to have an orbital position. And it is a one single circle, as I just explained, and it is totally saturated. No country can even have new one.
Okay.
So only sovereign countries can apply to the United Nations, under United Nations ITU, International Telecommunication Union, and you could get registration, but you have to coordinate with all your neighboring satellites. So I said Monaco is a sovereign country. They have the rights. So we started in 2005, I think the first time Monaco applied.
Mm-hmm.
And then until 2010, we struggled a lot to have this orbital position. So I can proudly say that although Monaco is a small, the future is in space. And Monaco today has a land in the space. We have registered the orbital position, and only 2015 we could manage to launch the biggest satellite of Europe,
Wow.
which still alive. It's already 10 years, up to 2030,
Mm-hmm.
the end of the lifetime. And today is covering around 2 billion people, this satellite, and it's serving mainly Central Asia, the connection of Central Asia to Europe and North Africa.
Oh, congrats.
Yeah.
And how many satellites are on that orbit? Do you know?
In this orbit, is geostationary orbit, there are 500 active.
500. Okay.
I could say one thing because the people are also confusing. These are the geostationary satellites, 36,000 kilometers, and they are geostationary towards the Earth. So it means that when you have antenna is fixed. But later, like Elon Musk is doing with the Starlink, since this is totally saturated and then you cannot cover also the poles, so he started to launch, which was known technology, up to 400, 500 kilometers. But when you put a satellite at 400 kilometers, that satellite to stay there, not to fall, it has to turn very fast. But when it's fast, you see the satellite maybe in 15 minutes just passing. So every 15 minutes, 20 minutes, you have to put a new satellite.
Mm-hmm.
I could say today Elon Musk put 10,000
10,000.
Starlink satellites, low Earth orbits, running around.
Mm-hmm.
So that covers everywhere. But the only thing that the countries don't have any control of the traffic. So most of the countries are afraid to use it.
Mm-hmm. Do you think we should be concerned about the amount of objects that we put into space?
Well, this is a big, right now, problem. Although we are very far away, this is not the case today. But there is a big space pollution because even if two such satellites hit each other, explode, then you cannot use this orbit. Maybe thousands of small objects. And today, maybe 25 million small objects around 1 centimeter. And around, I think, 30,000, 50,000 big ones like 1 meter or something.
Okay.
Junk running around the Earth. So it's a very big problem now.
Yeah, okay. But does it happen often that satellites collide? I feel it's very unlikely.
Happen this, especially the low Earth orbit.
Okay.
Also, right now, of course, with the military powers, China, Russia, US, they try at least one time to hit.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
One of the small low Earth orbit satellites, but then they understood that they are also killing their orbit.
Wow, that's great. So there is almost a space war right now.
Starting.
Wow, that's great. Why do you feel Monaco is such a nice place to develop space projects?
First, space projects or satellite projects doesn't need land on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So it means that Monaco is small, but the space is big. So this is the one thing. Second, the more important one, most of the satellite projects are sovereign projects, only for the government or for their country. So if you want to serve to a country which have no ability to have their own satellite, they are only looking for the neutral place, politically neutral space, stable place, and sovereignty.
Mm-hmm.
So with our company, the name of Monaco helps a lot when we go to third world countries where they need the communication and the satellites. The name of Monaco helps a lot.
Okay, interesting. And can you explain to people that don't understand satellites? I'm sure a lot of our viewers have many questions. How the Turkmen Alim 52E Monaco Sat-1 changed what did it change for Monaco to have its own satellite?
First, as I said, Monaco now has a space in the space, the registered orbital position, which is very valuable.
Mm-hmm.
As I said, even newcomer satellite or the countries may not have it today. Second, this technology. I think we brought this technology, space idea to Monaco. And for example, thanks to the Gildo Pasteur, as you know, he invested in state and in Monaco, also in space. Now he is one of the pioneer to manufacture the first moon lander.
Mm-hmm.
So I think next year with the SpaceX, the first moon lander from Europe will be launched in the moon. So this, I think, our vision is changed and brought the new ideas to Monaco. Not only the construction or the land or the only Earth objects, but now we turn back to the space.
I think that for your service you received a distinction, the l'Ordre de Saint-Charles from Prince Albert II. What did that moment represent for you?
Then immediately you understood that you are recognized, your work is recognized, although you are not expecting, but in such a prestigious country like Monaco, and I could say that such a lovely Prince Albert, both as human but also as a state president, you feel very much, honored, of course, but also I feel more to do something for Monaco.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to do more, and we have to bring new technologies, and already we put the name of Monaco in the space, but I think we have to develop more.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you told me you work with SpaceX for the Monaco launch. Do you have any anecdotes about that collaboration?
There is one of the big one. Let me say something. Up to 2000, Ariane Space, the European launcher, was one of the they got the 50% of the whole market.
Mm-hmm.
They were only the one together with the Atlas from state, but not very frequent. And then the Russian ones, but because of the sanctions, nobody could use. Every year there is a big conference in Washington, satellite and space conference,
Mm-hmm.
and all the industry CEOs are attending there with the conference exhibition. And I was always invited and speaking. I think in 2001, just after launching one of my satellites from Monaco, the first one for Turkey, there was a big panel. There was Ariane, Europeans,
Mm-hmm.
Americans, and I think big ones. Everybody spoken, and then I made the speech. And then there was some guy next to me, young guy. He was a lot of files in front of him, the drawings and everything. He said that I want to launch your satellites. I will create a rocket company. Everybody was looked at him. The salon became empty. And I was ashamed. I asked him, please, can you explain me? What are you doing? He said, I created PayPal. I sold PayPal 2 billion. I have money. I have good NASA engineers. So they have all the plans and I will start to invest to rockets. This was Elon Musk.
Mm-hmm.
So from that time,
Wow.
we were following each other.
Mm-hmm.
And when I had my satellite, Monaco satellite in 2015 to be launched, we looked around. Ariane was so expensive. We couldn't launch Russian or the China. And then SpaceX came. Almost 1/3 of the price they came.
Mm-hmm.
But there was not so many satellite operator were trusting
Mm-hmm.
because it was the new one. And
Yeah.
we were the seventh geostationary customer for the SpaceX and the first from Europe.
Okay.
And we launched it.
Uh-huh.
Very successful. Thanks to them, the satellite is working very well. They put in a right orbit. And then now today SpaceX is the almost only launcher.
Do you know how many launches SpaceX does a year?
Let me say this way.
Mm-hmm.
Ariane, when we were in France, we were working up to 2010, 15, even up to 20. Ariane was the biggest launcher and the launching very frequently, but maximum 12, 13 a year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When we launched in 2015, SpaceX was around 20 a year. And they say that Elon Musk is pushing them, the engineers, our friends. They said Elon Musk pushing us to put 40 a year. I said, impossible. Forget it, he's joking or something. This year, already now, more than 150
Wow.
they launched. Plus, after us, actually, he could recover the first stage.
Yeah.
I mean, the first stage is the almost 30% of the whole cost.
Wow.
So he recovered the 30% whole cost, just paint, refurbish, and then like a plane, launch again. So I think he made a very, very good. And with this new Starship, he's working to go to Moon and Mars. If it starts to work, I think the price we call with the kilogram. All times 1 kilogram of weight to bring to the space was around $30,000.
Okay.
Now is coming down, and
Okay.
with this new one, maybe 1,000, 2,000.
Wow.
He
Wow.
will do it. And
Crazy.
maximum today, SpaceX Falcon 9 can carry 5 or 6 ton. This new Starship will carry 100 ton and 100 people also to the Mars.
So do you think this will help to bring to space like bigger satellites with more technology?
Yes.
This is the goal.
And also will make to access to space cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes the newcomers, especially the startups, even the universities, the schools, and everybody
Mm-hmm.
can develop, can manufacture the satellites for different reasons. It's not only communication, but for many things. And I think the future is with the AI. And just for example, I just remember today, you know, the biggest hurdle in for the communication, especially with the AI, is having the data centers. And they need more and more power, more and more cooling systems, water, sea or something. But it really creates for the climate a danger. So just now, when I say now, 2-3 months, we are working to have the data centers in space and to connect them with the laser and the satellites. So this is also another feature.
All right. Oh yeah, that's smart. Maybe one day data centers on the moon.
True. Once the Starship is starts,
Yeah,
I
exactly.
think,
We can
yes.
start building.
Yeah.
If you had the opportunity to go into a starship one day and go on the moon, would you?
I would like, and even with the Axiom Space, which is now bringing the civil astronauts to the space station, we are partner.
Okay.
And my company SSI is only partner of Europe of this space tourism, let's say.
Nice.
And the first time they offer me, but my wife says no. I didn't get the permission.
Maybe she wanted to go with you, that's why.
Or my son maybe.
That's nice. And I know that you combine two very different roles. You are the CEO of a space company, but you also are an honorary consul.
I mean, I'm first engineer, scientist engineer, but because of our relations, international relations, of course, this role, honorary consul role, also help to meet on the governments and the higher levels, but also representing our country here in Monaco also gives us some privilege.
And do you believe that somehow space can be a tool for diplomacy as well?
I think this is the future because, as you know, ISS, International Space Station, was one of the first after the Cold War common project with 5 big countries, which is now going apart. But I think in space, not only one country can be achieved, but diplomacy, the countries, everybody should come together because this is the future for humanity.
So you think that the progress in rockets and everything will allow emerging countries to develop their own space programs because
Correct.
everything is cheaper? So, and you think that this will help everybody get on the same level basically when it comes to...
Yes, especially for education or accessing to the information because today, as you have now, having iPad connected internet, this is another school. They don't need maybe the teacher. So we are, one of my aim is, especially in Africa, to reach to the small villages, even if there is no electricity, no problem, just direct link from the satellite and with the solar panels, at least to give Wi-Fi something around those villages. This will change the shape of the world, shape of the humanity.
So you think that we need more young people to get interested in space and to fuel those careers to help those projects?
I think, yeah, this is more and more developing, especially even not the very young ones, but the engineers or someone are more and more developing, investing to the startups linked to the space.
True. And do you have any maybe advice to young people from Monaco that would like to have a career in space?
They have to be interested. Monaco is small, but the ambitions and the opportunity is big. So they have to look at the space and they will see that the space is endless. So I really would like them, even if they are on the social life or the engineering life, it doesn't matter, but to look at the space.
So you need passion.
Yes.
Space is a nice passion. I was passionate with space too. What do you think is the future of space? In 20 years, what will those projects look like?
I think in 20 years, all our telephones, our connections will be from space. We will not need anymore the Earth's type of terrestrial connections, cables, or hertzians. Everybody will have freedom to go everywhere with their phone or with their tablets. I think this is the future. Plus, even for the Earth observation systems, I mean the climate change and everything, now we started, it is there. From the space, the control and monitor is much easy and can give us very good data. So I think this is the future.
Right, so the space will help us master our world even better. Basically.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
that's great.
But when you say that you have a passion,
Mm-hmm.
you are basketball.
Yes, but I have an engineering background. I did study engineering for a few years before playing basketball. I even won a prize for a project where I was basically canceling horizontal acceleration to help a plane do like drops very precisely in like emerging countries when dropping aid and stuff like this. That was one of my projects.
Bravo. Bravo. Congratulations. And
you.
as you know, the Monaco basket
Mm-hmm.
team, I am also the president of the association of partners.
Mm-hmm.
I know that this is also another passion from Monaco. And so it also shows that the size, it doesn't matter, the size of the country.
True.
But the ambitions, you see the Monaco our basket team, Roca team, was the first last year in France, in the final of the EuroLeague. So exactly same type of things. I mean, you should not think that you are in a small country, you have to stay as small.
Mm-hmm. That's very true. That's a nice way to say it. After all these years, what does space mean to you today? Do you have like, I mean, imagine you built a special relationship to space. What is space for you nowadays?
I think this is, as I said, it of course gives the humanity some future and all the development of the humanity in a well-being, in a better place. But I see it as still as an engineer.
Mm-hmm.
What we could do, what we can generate, what we can newly design something to use the space more.
Very true. And I have to ask, but do you think that humans are alone in the universe?
I believe yes. I believe that we are alone.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look at the space and read all the science, you cannot say that we are alone. There should be something. I mean, why we should be alone? Because trillions of the stars and the planets, there should be some other way of life.
I guess we'll find out somehow. Maybe not us, but
maybe they will find us.
that's true. And yes, the podcast is on Monaco TV. That is aired on your satellite, as you just said. But I heard you are preparing Monaco Sat 2. And what will this new satellite bring to Monaco?
This the first type of satellites we call KU band, which
Mm-hmm.
is some 14 gigahertz band,
Okay.
and more on television, direct to home DTH type of television. But as you know, right now everybody knows, more and more, we don't watch the TV with the only dish outside satellite antennas, but streaming.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so as long as you have an internet connection, you have the television, telephone, internet, everything. I mean, so you don't need anything else, as in Monaco, for example, Monaco box. So then the satellites should have more capacity to carry internet and broadband and high speed. So this new satellites is we call software-defined satellite, which will be very flexible. For example, today the first satellite or the existing generation satellite has 5 to, let's say, maximum 10 gigabit capacity for the
Mhm.
internet. The new one will be 200.
Okay.
The price will be maybe 10 times lower with the new type of satellite to provide internet. So it means that this satellite with a small dish, you will have the internet for a village, for even a big cities. Then you can immediately distribute around.
Wow.
It is not directly one-to-one, but it is like a fiber from the space.
Okay. Wow.
And it means that to put the fiber, you'd have to dig, you have to find a lot of work. But
Mhm.
with the space, once you put a small antenna, you are connected.
Beautiful. Well, I'm excited to see that.
Yeah.
You know, this podcast is called the Monaco Effect, and I wanted you to know that for you, what is the Monaco Effect? What effect did Monaco have on you? So if you had to describe the Monaco effect in one sentence, what would it be?
We were always working space effect, but Monaco adds a lot to the space, what we are doing. And I wish you a big success with Monaco effect. And really, it gives some imagination to the Monaco young generation, what could be done even from Monaco, with us
That's very
from a
true.
small country.
That's very true. A small country, but big dreams. That's very true.
Exactly.
All right.
So,
Thank you very much, Doctor. It was an honor to speak with you today, and I'm very excited to see what you will bring to the world in the next few years.
thank you. Thank you very much. Really, I wish you good luck and good future.
Thank you very much. That's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.